Welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm working on 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, series number 17. Today's sketch was created by Helen Ding. I will have her information down below so that you can go check out her YouTube channel. She is an amazing creator, and she created this gorgeous sketch for us to play with. I'm going to be using Vicki Boutin Where To Next, and I'm going to be scrapbooking photos of Jasper, who just came to say hello. I'll try to move him out of the way from when he was a kitten. So he is roughly 11 months old in these photos here. I've already trimmed them down so that they are the same size or close to the same size as the photos in the sketch. I didn't quite get them cut that low or that small in some cases because they were all 4x6 to begin with, and I was just kind of trying to do my best. So I have alphas and phrases. I have some of the puffy stickers, a tag, some scraps, some brackets, and 2 pieces of patterned paper. So I'm going to pause. We're going to get started. Hopefully I can do this without kitty help. I'll be right back. So I'm going to say this right off the top. I'm not sure this is the best way to create an angled design, but this is what I'm going for. Now, of course, I was having trouble with my pencil because I didn't make sure the lead was all the way out, and I ended up drawing a crooked line anyway. So I'm trying to make sure that I have enough space for that 4x6 photo to fit on there. My goal was to actually use the reverse side, the striped, for the bordering on it, and you're going to see that I don't actually end up doing that. I try, and I just don't like the way it looks. The stripes needed to be angled, and since they're straight, I just didn't like how it looked, so I ended up pulling down the strip that I did put down to begin with. So here is my heart piece. That's the angled piece, and at least I paid attention this time and didn't create my angle the opposite direction, so that worked out pretty well. I really love this blue denim paper. It is so pretty, and it just shines with this black heart print, so that's why I'm using it. You're seeing me playing around with that stripe. I'm trying to make it look right. It's not going the way that I want it to go, so I'm going to go ahead and glue down my heart piece onto my background, and I'm going to attempt to make this stripe work. I'm just telling you, I don't like it, and that's why I was struggling so much. I'm going to try to cut it without causing myself too much grief. I'm cutting 2 half-inch strips here. And as I already said, I don't end up using this. I don't like it. I just don't like the angle that the stripes are falling on either direction. So, yep, there I am tapping my finger trying to see if I'm going to make it work. And I go ahead and I stick it under here. I just don't like it. And so I'm going to pull it out and we'll move on to something else. So I went ahead and I turned the camera off. I removed that piece, and I'm going to use this pom-pom trim here. Yes, I'm going to have to cut off some of the little balls because they're going to end up being underneath my photo, and that's too bulky. But for now, I'm just going to use my glue dots, and we're going to go ahead and get this trim on here. This is trim that I purchased at the Dollar Tree, I think 2 Easters ago. I have it in 4 colors, the green, blue, yellow, and pink. And I'm actually very close to being out of the green, so that means I've used that one the most. I think a couple of them still aren't even opened. But I really like the look of pom-pom trim on my layouts, and so this was a good excuse to use it. It's not quite the same color of green as in the background piece, but it matches some of the other greens in the collection, and so I'm just going to pretend like it matches here, and we're going to go with it. I like how it ends up looking, even though I have to cut off a lot of the little balls from it. So I am just lining it up with those glue lines. Glue lines are my choice for trim like this. Sometimes I'll go back and I'll use my tiny attacher, and I'll go ahead and staple them down as well as use the glue dots or the glue lines, but for me, this is the best way. So now I'm looking for all of my pictures and my embellishments. The scraps, I went ahead and I used my heart nesting dies and I created some stitched hearts. All right, so I went ahead and I matted my photos on some scraps of white cardstock. That makes those photos stand out against those dark backgrounds. That makes me pretty happy. And I've already glued them down to the layout, so I am just ready to embellish and add title. I am going to title this Current Mood Feral. These photos, the series of photos, was taken on the steps when Jasper was a kitten and he was acting completely crazy. And so I took this whole series of photos because I was trying to get his butt wiggles and I didn't really get those. I think the one photo where he was wiggling his little butt was too blurry and I didn't print it. But I thought that the current mood was a great phrase from that Pink Fresh Studio title pack, and I'm going to use the letters to create the word feral. I really like these letters. They're nice and bright and shiny, and they go really well with this layout. I do know that I've managed to pull that F off without getting the sticky, and it doesn't really matter because I typically tend to use wet glue on the back of thickers anyway, because more often than not, you find them in the bottom of your page protector a year down the road because the sticky has worn off. So here is where I'm embellishing stuff. I've got those stitched hearts. I've got 6 of them in 2 different colors. And so I'm just adding some of these puffy hearts to kind of round off some embellishment clusters. The embellishments are really simple here, tucking in those brackets underneath those middle photos, just to give a little bit of interest, and that's it. All right, I got my layout completely finished. I'm pretty happy with the way that this turned out. I kept pretty true to the sketch. I did have to move around my title a little bit. My photos are a lot larger than most of hers. I think these are the only 2 that are the same size as her photos, and that was just because I was using 4x6 photos that I had to trim down. This one, of course, was hanging off that bottom, so I had to trim it down at the bottom, and I kind of like that look. I did the stitching around my hearts that I cut with my nesting heart dies and some scraps from this collection, and I got the title on there in 2 different places, so I'm pretty happy with that. I want to thank you for coming to my channel today. I really appreciate those of you who take the time to like, comment, and or subscribes. I know that the creator of this sketch, Helen, would love it if you would take the time to visit her channel and leave her some love and watch some of her videos too. If you're not a subscriber to her, please subscribe to her channel. You will be absolutely inspired by her. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.